Welcome back to Els TV. And people, I'm excited to announce a new series called Transfer Talk, Transfer News. Any transfer news in relation to Manchester United or just in the world of football, we will be doing a report on that. And it'll come out almost every single day. You know, it's going to be a more consistent series. So you're going to see more of me. And the Els TV family is going to grow. Without further ado, like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers. We can get it done. But this is a particular rumor that I want to get into straight away. And that rumor is Rafeal Leao to Manchester United. Now, there's not been any serious links. I know that there have been links a couple weeks ago about how we're interested in him and what's not. But yesterday, he officially announced that he's leaving AC Milan. He officially said, I'm going to leave AC Milan. I think I want a new challenge and that whole remedy. You know what I'm saying? And for the price that's being quoted, I'm seeing 40, 50, even 60 million pounds. I think it's a good deal. Now, we know Manchester United are in for a left wing. We know they're in for a left winger profile because we just don't have it. You know, Cunha is doing his thing. I'm not saying that if Leao comes, he's going to bench Cunha, by the way. But Cunha is doing his thing. And Dorgu, for me, I know a lot of people think that he's a left winger and he could be our left. He's not a left winger, bro. We can't be relying on... If Cunha gets injured, I'm not relying on Dorgu versus some team in Champions League. It's not going to happen. He's a left back. He's slotting at left wing because we don't have that profile. He's the best version of that profile that we have other than Cunha. Because he's an attacking left back, sorry. So we don't have that profile. So we need it. We just need it in the squad. And for me, Leo would be perfect. Leo would be perfect. I mean, he has athleticism. He can dribble. Because I don't think any of our wingers are they're scared to take on their man. You know, they're scared to take on their man. That's the thing I've been seeing recently. I mean, a lot of wingers in football these days are kind of scared to take on their man because they're all on this whole, you know, system thing and, you know, passing, recycling the ball and blah, 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 blah. But Leo is not one of those kind of players. I mean, even if you want to try and tell him to do that, he probably still won't do it because he still won't want to take on his man. Leo loves to take on his fullback, and we need that Manchester United. We missed that since when Rashford was good. When Rashford was good, not since he was last year. Because I know a lot of people are going to compare him to Rashford and say, hey, if we bring in Leao, it's just another Rashford and he'll get 4 goals in a season and that's it. No, let's look at the positives of it. Let's not be just all negative because the United fans like to just this whole instantly, oh yeah, this player is not going to be good because of this and that, this and this and this and this. I'm pretty sure every player that we've been linked to, even ones that we have signed, there's been people that are saying, oh, this is not going to work because of this and because of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and whether that may be true, sometimes it's true, sometimes it comes to a completely different thing. Like the Ederson thing. A lot of people don't want to sign Ederson, myself included. I didn't want Ederson, but he's going to join Manchester United, right? He's going to join Manchester United, and all we can do is hope that he does well. You know, if we get proved wrong and he does well, that only helps us. That only helps us. It only helps us as a club. We can't just be a player FC kind of thing. Got to just think about the club first, innit? I'm not trying to be ultra positive on this whole thing, right? But you get what I'm trying to say. But back to Leao, man. Yeah, 40 to 50 million pounds. I know his defensive work rate isn't necessarily the greatest. I understand that. And he wouldn't be coming in to start every single game. We're not relying on him every single game. And I feel like a new environment, a different kind of pressure. You know, he's not necessarily everyone has to come to him to get the goals and assists. You know, it's going to be spread out through the team. Maybe he'll feel more a part of a cohesive unit. Maybe that'll help him with his game. You know, maybe Carrick will get him to be a little bit more better defensively. I mean, some players are just not great defensively. Some attackers are just not great defensively. It happens. Like, a lot of attackers are like that. And I don't like that he's just being singled out. Oh, he's lazy. Like, him specifically being singled out. Oh, it's lazy, blah, 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 blah. A lot of your favorite wingers are not greatest at tracking back either. And the reason that if they are, they're not wingers. They're wing fielders. You know, your Morgan Rogers of the world. Love Morgan Rogers, by the way. Even your Ndiaye. Ndiaye does not play as left wing for Everton. He plays as a left midfielder for Everton. You know, although he would be a good player, he plays left midfield for Everton. So he does have defensive work. That defensive work. He played that same thing for Marseille as well. Left midfielder. You know, like, do you see Barcola tracking all the way back? Yes, of course, some players are better at it. I'm not saying that, you know, he's good at tracking back now and it doesn't necessarily matter at all. Of course it matters to an extent. But sometimes In some games, you don't need that. You just need a player to get on the pitch, attack the fullback, and create chances, and even score goals. And that's what he can do. That's what he can do. And again, at the price that's being quoted, I don't see a problem with this. I don't see how it's a negative. In football, you got to take risks sometimes. I don't think that this is such a big risk that if it doesn't necessarily work, he won't be able to be sold and he'll be here for 10 million and he's going to come in and score one goal. That's not going to happen. I'm guaranteeing that. He's not coming in and scoring one goal and then, that's it. Like, that's not happening. He's not that bad of a, he's too good to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's too good to do that. So I think him and Cunha rotating would be a great throughout the season, especially since we actually have more than 40 games this season. We're not just playing the Premier League. We're playing Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League. We're going to need a squad. If Cunha goes down, are you relying on Dorgu every single week to do it? And don't go and say, oh, he did it against Man City, against Arsenal. He did. Credit to him. He even did it against Brighton. He scored against Brighton. But in those games, throughout a whole season, let's say you have to do it 20 games in a row, are you relying on Dorgu to do it? No. I think the answer is no. I think Dorgu can be used in that position if, let's say both Leao and Cunha are out. Then you can put Dorgu there. But I don't want Dorgu as my, if Cunha comes out, yeah, Dorgu's coming in on left wing. It's just not for me, bro. He's not a winger. Like, he can do certain things. He has the physicality, he has the running power and what's not. So he can get about and do, even get in goal scoring positions, right? Because he's even in a left wing back at, let's say. He played left wing back for Manchester United when he first came in. So he knows how to attack the spaces and attack the box. But for functionality and other things, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. But yeah, I would take Rafeal at Manchester United. Of course, you have to let me know in the comments down below. And I know a lot of people are probably in the negative side of it. Because they just, like, what pisses me off, right, is the people that come and say, every time I've tuned into Leao, he's been underwhelming. Every time I've watched Leao, he's been underwhelming. Those same people haven't watched the game, by the way. They just see what a random guy on X says, a random guy on Instagram says, Leao in this game was playing poorly. And then they're like, every time I watch Leao, he's just not playing well. That's not true. You're not watching Leao, bro. I know half of you are actually not watching him play at all and just seeing what someone says and just repeating it to get clicks and get likes and say, I watched him. You don't watch shit, bro. You don't watch nothing. You only watch the Premier League. You don't watch any other league. So I don't want to hear. I watched every single AC Milan game for the last 3 years in a row. Every single game. Every single game. Maybe not every single game. I mean, I have things to do. I have a life. But majority of every single game at AC Milan. And I could categorically tell you there's context to everything. Him in his own right had to perform better in certain instances. I can admit that. It's very normal. That happens. He's not world class or anything. I'm not saying he's world class and he's the best player in the world. He has no flaws, right? But there's a lot of context, especially last season. A lot of people say, his last season was underwhelming. He's been playing most of the season injured. Literally cannot even run, bro. There's certain games he literally could not run because he's injured. But he's playing injured for the club to get results. And a player with that mentality that is going to come on the pitch regardless of something just to get the team going, get something out of the team. We need that mentality at Manchester United, a winning mentality. We need more players with a winning mentality. We don't need to keep signing 20-year-olds that are coming for their first move. Let's sign an established player. He's 26 years old. He's established. He won AC Milan a league for their first league in like God knows how long. And again, he's a winner with that mentality because we need that. We need that. Him and Cunha together, I just think it will work, bro. And he used to play with Bruno as well at Sporting. He used to play with Bruno. That whole Portuguese contingency, we can keep it going, bro. Without Ruben Amorim, we don't need that guy. But you know what I'm saying? I just don't see how it would be a bad fit for Manchester United. But I am scared that Arsenal are going to go in for him. Because if Arsenal go in for him, I think he'll go. Unfortunately. Because he did say in an interview that he likes United, but he also likes Arsenal. And, I mean, look, Arsenal were just in the Champions League final. We know that Arsenal play haram football. But if they're going to put a bid on the table, they're the Premier League winners. He always talks about how he wants to go to the Premier League. Why would he not go to Arsenal? I mean, he's going to start as well. He's going to start as well. It's all it comes down to, what does he want at this stage of his career? Does he want to be the main star at a club? Or does he want to come in and be one of the main players in the club and not necessarily the main star? That's what the role I think he should go for to get himself back on track. But we will see him at the World Cup. I don't think he'll start for Portugal because Roberto Martinez is probably going to start, and Pedro Neto and Conceição and Maybe even Bernardo Silva on the wing or something like that. We know how this Roberto Martinez brother is, man. Leao will come on for his little 15, 20-minute cameos. Maybe he'll start one game. But I hope he performs in the World Cup. Because if he does perform in the World Cup, it gives more incentive to go for him, in my opinion. And I don't think that'll raise the price because Serie A clubs need money. Serie A clubs need money. So I don't think that'll really affect anything. I don't really think that'll affect anything. But yeah, man, I would sign him. Again, you people that are saying you watched him and get underwhelmed, I don't know what you're watching. You're probably tuning into a random game under Allegri, which he's playing in a front two, by the way. Why is he playing in a front two? He's not even a front two player. He's a left winger that can play at striker if needed, but it's not a striker. He said many times he doesn't like playing there. And what was Mason Milan do? Go and play him there. Doesn't make any sense. And especially under a manager that I don't think Allegri can coach and attack well. You see Allegri teams in recent years, they don't score many goals. The amount of 1-0 games that were happening, they're just not... Like, I'm seeing Leao and Pulisic out there left to die, basically. No support. They have to do it all by themselves. And that's not... What are you supposed to do in that situation? What are you supposed to do in that situation? Especially if you're half injured as well for majority of the season. You can't go and score 25 goals. It's not going to happen if you're not getting the ball in positions to score goals. It's just... Like, I don't know what y'all want. You're watching a game under Milan, under Allegri, and saying, oh my God, Milan can't score, so I must mean Leao shit. No, that doesn't make any sense. Look at the team. Y'all need to start with this individualization thing. If a team is playing bad, yeah, because he's the best player, he's playing shit, so that's the reason why they're playing bad. No, that's not always the case. If you're a midfielder and you're playing absolute shit, giving away the ball, turnover, and then giving away chances, that's when you can say that. But if you're a forward player, you're not getting the ball in any dangerous position because of the team is being outplayed or the team is not playing attacking football. What are we supposed to do? And you can't even see he can't beat his man because he's not playing on the wing. He's not playing on the wing to beat his man. He's playing up front. So all he can do is hold up the ball and pass it off and maybe get in position for it to score. There's nothing he can really do in that position. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have done better in his own right. There's certain games, yes, he played poorly and should have done better. We can all see that. But I think this whole thing has just been blown out of proportion. He's poor. You see one game and, he's a poor player now and he's finished and he'll never be good again. Y'all need to start with that. People need to start with that nonsense. Y'all did with Mbappe. Mbappe was going through a tough period the first time at Madrid. People are saying Mbappe's finished at 26. How could a player be so finished? And he went and scored 45 goals. Why do y'all do this? I get the whole banter side of it, the whole making fun. Why do y'all do this? A player can have a bad season, It happens to every player. Even Messi had a bad season. Of course, it's freaking Messi, so his bad season is better than everybody else's season. Same thing with Ronaldo. But players can have bad seasons. You can't be perfect every single season unless you're literally one of the best of all time. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So I hear the criticism. I hear what people are saying. I'm not ignoring that. But I think the positives that can come from this are just really beneficial to the club. And I think it'll be really good for us, man. Just imagine Leao and UCL Knights run down that left wing. Or him coming off the bench for Cunha in the 70th minute when we need against a tired fullback. Imagine that. He's 6'2" and has pace, can beat his man. Bro, why would we not sign him, bro? Why would we not sign him? I just don't see why it's such a taboo to allow some people to just sign him. I'm seeing people talk about Torre from Hoffenheim. I'm seeing people talk about just random brothers. They're good because I don't even know what they're seeing. There's because there's a lot of talk around this player. There's not a talk around that player. So that means we should go for the young player because he's just young and can get better. No, bro. What if he's young and doesn't get better? What if he's 21? This Torre brother comes in and from Hoffenheim and just does shit. What are you gonna say? He's 21 years old. He's 21 years old. We need to start with that, man. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Of course. I'll hear all your opinions. Let me know in the comments down below if you would sign Rafeal Leao. I actually really would like to know what people are thinking about this. I mean, if I were directed at you, I'm not sorry. Because the whole criticism thing is just, it gets too much to a point for me, man. It's just really my pet peeve. Subscribe to the channel. Of course, people. We're trying to hit that 500 subscriber. And I'll catch you guys in the next transfer video. So peace out.